Hey team. I wanted to do this for quite a long time, so today I'm trying to record a leak with DIMIR tempo after I was asked by some friends if I could do something like this, and well, like here you go. We are playing the List Ecobaronen and used, I think, the last week to win a legacy challenge. There are a lot of things that make sense to me. Notably, Mishra's Bauble is back. We're cutting a ponder for it, which honestly kinda seems strange to me, but I'm just open to try it. Also, if you look to the sideboard, we are going with 4 Consign to memory over let's say, split with Nullrod. So after I think Mystic Forge is now the second most played deck, it might be that I will miss my emotional support Nullrod, but yeah, we will see. Usually I hold Andreas as a very good Delta builder, and I think he knows what he's doing. And if this meta has to be to do something unorthodox, like 3-ponder to bubble, I'm fine. And I have to say, I really like my Nethergoyf is quite chunky, so I think the bubbles should be fine. They're also fine for flipping Tamiyo. Everything else, I think, is quite stock. Usually not that big on Dismember, but it's also fine. Yeah, we will hop into a league, try to play as good as possible, especially with the showcase coming up, I think, this weekend. And I'm really not sure what to play. I tested different decks from Eldrazi over Nadu, of course, DIMIR Reanimator, different tempo variations, and I'm honestly not 100% sure what to play. Usually I like my DIMIR tempo decks, but wasn't that successful over the last, I don't know, month. So honestly, hand kind of anemic, could be very anemic. We already have 4 lands, but we also have a Tamiyo Wasteland. The question is if the Nihil Spellbomb is good, but for testing reasons I will keep this one and do a little stress testing. Also, I can play on basics, which isn't nothing. Our opponent mulligans to 6 cards. Okay, let's see what they bring to the table. We might see a Chalice on 1. Okay, of course, the Force of Will, 1 too late. Guess it's fine, we will fix our mana. Goal is to put a big Murktide into play. I think I will drop the Tamiyo into the Chalice just to feed the Murktide Regent. Our opponent has a Fable of the Mirror Break, which we will let go. So it's pretty early in the morning, and this is my first round. Of course, I should have played a Nihil Spellbomb into the Chalice. So Tamiyo is the blue card for Force of Will. Okay, we have our Daze. Which pairs like with the Force of Will also could like counter spell on its own. And I think we will work our way to the Murktide Regent. So if they wouldn't have like the Fable, if they had like anything else, would have to do things differently. But I think the Goblin Shaman insulates them very good against Wasteland. So we will work on our plan to set up our Murktide. If everything works out, we will be able to play the Murktide next turn. Wouldn't mind if it was one bigger. So perhaps if we have to force or daze this turn, it would be bigger. Good old Chalice of the Void, Soul Guide Lantern, so our opponent gives us one back. What we can do here is to surveil. Find an instant sorcery and drop our big boy, exiling our whole graveyard. Just a 4/4, but better than nothing. Opponent with the One Ring. So I think he could have attacked, so he plays around Daze, and now I hope he doesn't have the Simian Spirit Guide to make me look stupid. So we can like re-surveil, and now we, after he isn't attacking, we can go and start to stress his mana a bit. Also could surveil here. It's quite close. The thing is, he will be able to attack next turn by using the Kiki-Jiki to copy the Shaman. I think it's pretty close. How do we win this one? Win this one by finding another Murktide, for example, or some removal. I think this is fine. And I think we have to attack. Okay, they have to tomb, which is bad on the one hand because opponent now has mana and makes my play from last turn look quite stupid. On the other hand, Ancient Tomb works a bit in my favor. Okay, Goyf, unfortunately not castable due to the Chalice of the Void. Now we would have to play something if we can get rid of the Chalice of the Void. Unfortunately also only finding another land. And I think the opponent is not really forced to use the Ancient Tomb. Currently we're like trading 2 damage for 2 damage a turn. But this can go south very quickly. I think you see the mistake earlier come in clutch. where I Wastelanded, so if I wouldn't have Wastelanded next turn, I had the Force of Will online. Yeah, that's not really relevant, except for me not being able to drop the second Murktide from now on. But I think we also incentivized our opponent to play their moon effects by not dropping the swamp. Orcish Bowmaster honestly isn't that bad because it cuts the clock one short. Also blocks the opponent's creatures. Also hardcasting Force is now from the table. And the Ancient Tomb will never deal damage again. Our opponent keeps doing their play with the Shaman. Now we have to calculate. We have Sorcery in the graveyard, Artifact, Instant and Land, which is 4. So I will drop the Bowmaster, ping them for 1, and double block, or at least token block the Shaman. So the Barrowgoyf wouldn't be lethal. I think we made some mistakes. I guess it's fine. Okay, cutting the Dazes is pretty stuck. Cutting the Spellbombs, which is also reasonable, obvious. We will cut the Thoughtseizes. We will cut 2 Pushers, which sometimes looks strange because they're a creature deck, but also you don't really have easy ways to push your opponent 3 and 4 drops after they locked your fetch lands. And we will cut 2 Tamiyos. Because they probably really don't have that much of a problem just to clock her. And for that we will bring in 2 negations, 2 consigns, 2 hydros, Edict, Goyf, Dismember, and the engineered explosives. So this hand would be like a gamble. If they open with a turn 1 Blood Moon, they cheese us. If they open on a turn 1 Chalice, we would probably be fine. But I think on the play, I really want a Force. We have 6 of them, so I would mulligan this one. And this is good. Don't want the Bowmaster. They're really mediocre in this matchup. And the opponent starts with Magus of the Moon, and I think we will force dropping the Murktide. So if they have another effect, other moon effect, we will never be able to cast it. So we could do a bubble trick, but I think I will ponder afterwards anyway. The only thing stopping me from that would be if we have one of our basics on top, and I think that chance is very slim. So I think I will ponder. Hydroblast honestly looks very, very good. Engineered explosives also looks good. So we can draw all of these. One with the ponder, one with the bubble, one with our next draw step. And then we will try to set up Bowmaster into Kaito. Opponent up to 5 mana, the broadside we saw earlier. Don't really have anything to throw at us at the moment. We can try to make it kind of weird for them. There is the idea of dropping the Engineered here, eliminating the Chromox. Is there only red source at the moment? But I think with the Hydroblast we can like wait a turn, perhaps? Try to make it weird with Bowmaster token. The attack step also try to eat a chalice or something. We can try to ambush one with the Bowmaster. Eat the other one with a Hydroblast. I think that's fine. So we might see this one getting thrown. Or not. Fine. Really would like to draw a line for Hydroblast Engineered Explosives. Oh, now we might wait a bit. Wasteland would be insane. Taking out the 2. Saga ticks up. And it seems we're doing nothing for now. So they probably bring out a Pithing Needle. And I think it doesn't help us dropping the Kaito into the Saga activation. Opponent makes a token. And I think we need to activate here. The thing is, our opponent goes into his turn. They will search up the Pithing Needle. So I think we're also inclined to fetch here. And it's a bit weird because I honestly want to sewer, but I think I have to swamp. Because it would absolutely be devastating if they moon us with their last 2 cards. So for example, the Saga could search up a Chromox, exiling a red card, and then they moon us. And with their restricted mana, it could be that they hold like 2 red cards and go for the fix. Okay, opponent goes like the aggro route, not exiling. Yeah, it doesn't make mana if you don't exile something. Okay, they're equipping. So we would need another land. or a removal spell before dropping the Kaito. Another untapped land? Should have specified. Okay, let's see. Get a Brainstorm, and I think a Brainstorm is okay. So the Kaito has 4. This is kind of a gamble here, but I think we can't do like nothing. And the ward prevents us from simply down-ticking, which would be huge. So I think they will attack here. Can attack back, at least draw some cards, try to find removal. That would have been a lot easier if the Undercity Sewer would have been any other land. At least our top card is doing something, and they don't have like another Chromox or else to. Okay, opponent goes face. Don't know if I like that. Okay, I think in that case we will start with Brainstorm. Okay, only finding lands. Also, we don't even have like a second Surveil in here. We will tap this one down. Now we will try to raise them. Currently I'm scared of red mana into Broadside or red mana into Barrowgoyf. And this will kill us, unfortunately. Yeah, it was a close one. I think if we drew our land untapped, we would have been fine. Now we're playing on the draw, on the play. Okay, this hand is fine. We have the option of going for both our basic lands, and we can feed our Murktide. We're also okay against your Chalice. Honestly, this looks pretty good. So the thing is, I don't know if he chalices us. I want the Wasteland more than I want the 1-drops. On the other side, if he moons us, I want the Goyf and Consign more than I want the Wasteland. I think they have more moon effects than chalice effects. Also, we can play Consign through a resolved chalice by replicating. And we can decide next turn if Wasteland is something that we want. Decide if we want to fetch. I also like fetching because it gives them the illusion that their moon effects are actually good. And we have a Fable. And I think Wasteland is very good here, taking out their Ancient Tomb. We will get some information based on their Fable and based on the Goblin Shaman token attacking or not into the Nethergoyf. Okay, they have access to red mana, otherwise they wouldn't have been to Sundering Eruption, especially after I have both my basics out. And we have a Broadside Bombardier. I think I'm going to immediately dismember this one. Also growing my Goyf. No attack from the opponent. There is no play that would put another type into the graveyard except Polluted Delta into Surveil, into non-instant, non-sorcery, non-land. So I think what I want to do, start by attacking. And I want to like attack his mana as aggressive as possible. So I will bounce the token. And I want to Wasteland the Tomb. And hope they didn't slow roll like a lot of mana. And they fury us, okay. Honestly, I'm fine with that. Because it also lifts like the tension between Murktide Regent and the Nethergoyf. This is like a weird spot where I would be happier if they had a chalice because it stops a potential what's its face? Red Blast. We have them on a 2-turn clock with the Brazen Borrower. Think I can also go Nethergoyf, Tamiyo, but probably that's worse after I think about it. They're just like the possibilities with the Ursus Saga and copying the Saga tokens. Okay, they make another token. And I think at that point I want to consign the search token. The search one. Oh, damn, I looked at it wrong. Oh, that's frustrating. I didn't saw that look kind of weird. This might cost us. Yeah, the game would have been super easy if we simply had consigned the ring. No, it's so frustrating. I thought they already paid the mana. Probably it was floating somewhere over there. That's also usually the reason why I place my creatures over there. Okay, so I think we Wasteland, the one that search ups earlier. Think I want a Tamiyo for blocking. Also, I think I will drop into Brazen Borrower if they do anything that isn't exactly another ring, like Ancient Tomb into ring. Okay, Going down to virtual 5. They aren't able to exchange the ring or anything. There's always like hovering, Kiki Jiki copying the token. Lost the game to display at Eternal Weekend last year. Out of Painter. Okay, they're furying us. And now they can copy the fury to pretty much clear the board. Yeah. I think we threw it when I accidentally didn't counter the One Ring. Yeah, I didn't know where to copy. Now they also can like attack for 6. Guess I take this. So removal spell is lethal. Can attack with both, I think, because they have to block. And this cuts at least Ancient Tomb. Think they should draw with the One Ring. With the trigger on the stack so they can find Simian Spirit Guard. To activate the Saga, making a 2-2 construct, searching up for 3-3. But now the same play we saw earlier with the Fury. Making a Fury token would be lethal. All depends if they have enough mana, and I think we did a okayish job to restrict their options. Opponent says they need the draw on that land. And they will simply nuke our board again. And I think then they will probably die to their own ring. Scrappy game. Some minor and some major mistakes have been made. Somehow we ended up on top. But I honestly say it's a little bit too close for comfort. Okay, hand seems fine. We have the turn 1 Tamiyo. Can also Thoughtseize starting from game 2, but after we have 2 Tamiyos. I think I want to get this one rolling. And another Ancient Tomb deck. Only question is, which flavor? I think we start by attacking. And then we'll Thoughtseize them. Oh, of the blue variety. Okay. So we will take the easy route, taking Shontao. Now we have to find a clock, still have perfect information. Opponent doesn't want to give us the option of wastelanding the tropical. Tamiyo goes attacking. And I want to draw here. There is an argument for bluffing Orcish Bowmaster, but we have to clock our opponent. And we could have found a Goyf. Fearless opponent, dropping Atraxa into the graveyard against a blue-black deck. So the thing with the Force of Will is I really want to have a threat. And they already have Force of Will, Whale of Summer, so they would go Show and Tell, V-Force, Dayvale, V-Force, Dayforce. So the Force actually isn't that good. Opponent's deck is really, really good when it comes to playing around and through Force of Wills. Also strike some fear in his heart by discarding the Force of Will. Okay, so we can flip the Tamiyo this turn. So we can take double Wasteland, take them off of blue and green over the next 2 turns. I think that's fine, making our Daze also not really live. Well, kind of. Then they have to decide if they want to have more green or more blue mana, or more mana in general. Might be too cute, but I want to try it. So if they don't have like enough or more blue-green lands, we could set up a eliminate their green sources and Thoughtseize them. What this does is it helps us making them choose between colored mana and mana in total, which is important due to their Whale of Summer. So now we can Wasteland again. Of course they will pull in green. Now we'll change the zones so that they lose their green mana. We haven't played a blue spell before, so they can't cycle their card. We will draw a card, because if we get like a Thoughtseize, we don't have to get it from our graveyard. Now is the question if you want to tick up or if we want to raise. But I think I'm not in the mood of dying to weird stuff. So we can take like the Force of Will. Because they're strangled on colored mana, so they can't use like the Veil very effectively, and our opponent has enough. Now that worked out quite fine. So we probably cut the pushes and the bombs. And we bring in the edicts, Force of Negations. So if it would be Sneak and Show, I would bring in the Hydroblasts. But I have nothing that lets me think they also have like red mana. So I have to fill up 3 additional mana. Or 3 additional card slots, excuse me. I could bring in like 3 Consign, which is a lot. Perhaps not that bad. So it really depends on some things. So before stock up, I really like bring in Consign in large numbers because they usually played the ring. But now I'm not sure if Consign is that great. At least it can counter like a Atraxa trigger or something. Or like, oh, what's his face? The artifact that stops you from casting spells not in your turn. Defense grid, I think. Might be a little bit too much, but on the other hand, we have to support like 6 forces. And I think it's at least okayish for that. Well, I think that's a fine keep. We have Force, we can flip Tamiyo turn 2 by dropping the Bauble, sacking it in their turn. So we're only playing like 2 Dazes. I think letting Carpet Resolve is fine. If we would be on 4 Dazes, I would be more inclined to use it. I think we want to like strand them if possible on one island over the next few turns. So we will look what they draw. A show and tell, which can get ugly really fast. So we might see show and tell this turn. But I think they're missing probably either Disruption or the Omni. Okay, we also draw a Brainstorm. This changes my plan a little bit. Because now we can like attack. Brainstorm and have mana left. And if they want to engage with the Brainstorm, I'm fine. Don't think I will need 2 Wastelands for now, and yeah, bit away from Murktide Regent, so really hope to find a Thoughtseize there. On the other hand, there's like the Tropical, so we would have we need to set it up over 2 turns anyway. I really want to make it harder for them to set up show and tell with whale backup. Of course, they can now go here at green Soulland. Oh, that's like not very nice of our opponent. But it's also mana intensive. And we have our Wasteland on top. So could have seen a reason to make it the other way around. So let's think. If they have 1 mana, 2 mana, with that, Shontel gets like to a 5 mana spell. Don't think they will make it. So we'll tick up the Tamiyo. Yeah, I think it would have been better to place the Murktide Regent under the Wasteland. Also, we don't have like double blue and we're still far away. Would have given us more options. I think if I want to have the Goyf or the Bowmaster. Are there mana efficiency reasons? Next turn I want to Wasteland them. I think we already gave away. We have the Bowmasters, so we drop them now. They usually aren't that much known for their removal spells, so we drop it now. So they can't go like Ponder, Bowmaster, Response Brainstorm. So we go to 3 mana now. Stock up is fine. I think we don't have enough permission to fight over stock up. So I think we will waste here. I think we will tick up. And I also think we want mana capped up for potential clue token tapping. Guess stock up is fine. Already used the mana of the Carpet of Flowers. Okay. I think we will crack our clue end of turn. Finding another force, so this would have worked out quite nice. And now we'll go -7, draw half of our library. And the opponent concedes. So what we probably would have done here is drop a threat and then Thoughtseize them, fight over the Thoughtseize with our permission. Just to like eliminate as much of their resources as possible and then beat them with whatever's left. Yeah, we will keep this hand. I think turn 1 Tamiyo treated us pretty well over the last games. Also can play from basics, which is nice. Oh, opponent, please. Opponent on at least something unfair. Probably Impulse spells. Played yesterday for the first time in weeks against Upsal spells. And it's Upsal spells. Narcomoeba in hand. But they should have like enough of the what's its face Cabal therapies to discard it. They're quite slow, I think. So I will take the Undercity Informer as it's cheaper to drop. X the wrong one out, doesn't matter, know that it's there. The problem is if we let the Undercity Informer resolve, like we draw land, they drop it next turn, they might have enough mana to pop it immediately, and we don't force it, because we think they can't. Try not let myself outsmart myself, which is hard because I'm very good in outsmarting myself. Well, I heard Nihil Spellbomb is good against graveyard decks. Okay, they can draw a card by cycling this one, then it makes mana. Or it cycles mana. Hey, I could have used it later. Feeling okay-ish. They take our Force of Will. Then they have to find enough mana to go for exiling or for removing their whole deck. Oh, that's neat. Yeah, reanimate, good card. Play my fair share of it myself when I'm playing the reanimator deck. A little bit short on mana. Don't think D22. The raised alarm mode of Orcish Bowmaster will help us, so we will draw a card. And all the fatal pushes in the world. I think if we will go on like this, we will make it to get like every card in hand we want to board out in this matchup. Brainstorm. So we will have kind of a clock, or at least tick up, tick down. And we will Thoughtseize them again. And I think we will simply take the Pact of Negation. Sorrow of Force is good. Now we can go and draw like 2 cards a turn. Shock here is interesting. Okay, we are like 1 fatal push, 1 wasteland away from having everything in hand we want to board out. Oh, that's wild. Okay, let's see. They played the Fraley thing, so they have exactly the cards in hand we know from earlier. It gives them a lot of time if you don't react now. I think it's a bit risky, but I think I want to Force of Will it. And now we lose if they have exactly a creature. And of course they have it. Unfortunately. Could have let that one resolve. But then the game goes on pretty long. Also our draws weren't really that generous. Let's see. Quite straightforward. So honestly, I think the hand would be great if this wasn't Undercity Sewers, so we will mulligan. Okay, this hand does like literally nothing. To have 3 looks for hate. Okay, opponent starts on Chromox. Okay, Petal. Oh, okay, so we're slashering. I think we can at least let the slasher hit us once. We have to kill it twice, wasn't it like this? We also can bounce it. Counter on the way down. Okay, we go to 9 or something. Is it rounded up or rounded down? Rounded up. So it will hit us for 218, half to 9. Is that correct? 9. I can crack the fetchland 19, 17, down to 8. So it's actually the same. And another one. Okay, that gets very bad very fast. I think we will lose this one. Which is unfortunate. I think we need more than 2 lines. Can use this one, stun one. Think I brainstorm first. And stun one, bounce one. Ah, damn, I could have exalted with the Faerie Macabre. I have 2 turns to deal with it. Okay, we have Cabal Ritual on the stack. Now I draw another Consign to memory. Next turn, this one is going to untap. Thoughtseize is dead already. don't know if I want Wasteland. There we go with the Goyf. So I think there was also like a trigger, so I can decide if I want to Macabre or consign them. This game is unnecessarily scrappy. Okay. Opponent on firing on all cylinders. I think I'll let this one resolve. Oh, let's pop the graveyard art to see better. Taking the Thoracle and could take. I think it's irrelevant. I guess I think take the bridge from below. They still have 2 cards in hand, and one is eventually the shuffle back in card. But if they boarded it out, I don't know. Perhaps it holds up. So if they have the shuffle back in card, we're dead. I think I played this one quite poorly. First one was like a risk thing, where I came out short. This one, perhaps this is like also the illusion of choice, and there wasn't an option I would have come out on top. Yeah, exactly. Now they play Memory's Journey, put 3 creatures in, and then we die. What would have been the other option? I think we would have lost there anyway. The problem is, if we would have consigned just a trigger, they would have simply beaten us with the 2-3 in the air. I guess we will keep this hand, playing Underground Sea, Ponder, have like a little bit of everything, and a Brainstorm to lean in the direction we want to. Perfect, hitting our lands. Guess we probably won't need the Fatal Push, except if they go for the Flash Raker. Opponent's deck could be honestly of a variety of things. There's like the big Cloud Post deck, the blue Cloud Post, and the Mystic Forge. And although Mystic Forge is like the second most played deck, I see way more of the big Cloud Post decks. So I wouldn't mind finding like a threat or anything. I think the Nihil Spellbomb is 100% bad. So we will ship it back. And we will go in and Thoughtseize. Okay, we have the answer for the Fleshraker. Opponent goes up to 4 mana next turn. The question is, if they Fleshraker or Mystic Forge or Wandering, I think I will take the Wandering because it's the strongest of the cards. Tower of Power and Mystic Forge, and I think we need to force this one. We can now ponder, try to find a threat. Unable to find a threat, I am not big on Brazen Borrower right now. Get it anyway. So, I think we will go and waste Planar Nexus in their upkeep, which is exactly bad if they drew Kozilek's command. But now we have Revolt turned on. Fleshraker. And immediately when they pass priority, we will take it out. So we have to decide if we want to Brazen Borrower aggro mode or bounce mode. Opponent with the key. Deleting their Orcish Saga. City of Traitors, excuse me. So the question is, do I want to Surveil or do I want to Brazen Borrow? And I think I want to Surveil, use Borrower perhaps as a removal spell for one of the constructs. Not a big Bauble believer right now. Would have taken a Ponder, just to note. Brainstorm. They will tick up, make their construct next turn. So I don't need the Brazen Borrower right now. Now it gets a little bit tricky. So I could drop the Tamiyo. And Flipper. Also dropping a land. I think that's fine-ish, I guess. If they exactly have Soul and Ring, I would prefer Bowmasters. The key makes so my Bowmasters doesn't kill that construct anyway. And we will try to flip our Tamiyo. Lotus Petal? Big variety on that card right now. At least a buff for the Saga. Could also be the last banner they need for a ring, but they have the Ancient Tomb. Can we draw the Borrower? Can attack and flip. I like to do this in the attack step, so the opponent gets used to it, but there's like a trick where you have additional 3 mana and you have a Kaito, where you can drop the Kaito into play after you've eaten your clue. When you draw it off the clue, waiting on deleting the construct. If they have any like weird shenanigans. Now the Lotus Petal. Another Ancient Tomb. Currently big constructs. So we can tick her up. Could also have taken a Force, probably. But I think Tamiyo is more a win condition right now. We'll play second Tamiyo defense mode, and we hope our opponent will brick for 2 turns, or at least not be able to kill us for 2 turns. So here's the thing. Tamiyo at least makes clue tokens. So I will drop in the Bowmaster, ping them for 1, and block with the token. They can make it unblockable. I somehow forgot about this. Probably should have gone to blocks immediately. Okay. And another Saga, which is super bad. There is the question, can we raise? Okay, first things first. There is no harm in attacking, I guess, especially as they can make their dude unblockable. Then I think there is no harm in drawing a card. Another Tamiyo. Really don't like this Tamiyo right here. So I could use this one as a lightning rod, dropping my Goyf. The Goyf gets pretty stonewalled by this. Let's check if I played a land this turn. So what I could do is minus Tamiyo, taking back Brainstorm, and try to find a Wasteland, or upgrade the hand. Double Tamiyo isn't needed right now. Taking this one up. Fetch to clear the Brainstorm. Ponder. This is honestly quite nice. But I think I want to drop the Goyf and go for max damage next turn. To put pressure on the Ancient Tombs. Anything can go south if they draw their ring. At least the Goyf is bigger than their creature, so they would have used the Manifold Key again. Cruel Captain is insanely bad for us. As they can tutor up their Graveyard Hate. And we will lose the Tammy. But that's what we signed up for. Now they untap the artifact. Okay. Making it a 6/6. So what we will do is we will push. Then we will tap down, and then we will attack for lethal. Boarding wise, we will bring in our Consigns, we will bring in our Blasts, we will bring in the Engineered Explosive. And I think Edict should be fine. And we will cut the Dazes, the Spellbombs, and the Bowmasters. I think I want to cut one Tamiyo too. So I think our starting hand looks very good. So it depends if the opponent really escalates turn 1. We will use our force if we're probably pitching the Murktide. But they don't. Wouldn't mind finding a card I could use well to pitch, but I didn't find one. So we could let's map this out. We drop our land, we consign something, makes 2 cards in graveyard, consign Polluted Delta, Polluted, then we drop Tamiyo, consign another thing, 4 cards in graveyard, so we will work ourselves up to Murktide faster, and I like the Murktide as it isn't susceptible to Kozilek's command. We have Tezzeret. And we will consign him. So I hope the Ancient Tomb is quite taxing on their life. It also means they probably don't have a Urza Saga. So that's quite interesting. So we could flip the Tamiyo, get to work on her. But then we have to force their next play. Could also flip her next turn or end of turn. Keep up Consign, and I like this one better. Okay, Flash Raker. Think I want Consign the Flash Raker too. We work our way to our Murktide as planned. Wasteland is actually insanely good. So I think we will start by attacking. Then I think we want to Brainstorm. Placing our 2 lands on top. And I hope they only have like 1 follow-up play. No, they have Saga. Interesting. Could take also Ugin. And force their ring, but I would prefer finding a blue card in the meantime. So I can tick down Tamiyo to get like Consign to stop their Saga. I think I like this better. Okay. Take the Ancient Tomb. Makes it also weird for their Saga. Tower of Power. So we will draw land. And the nice thing is, we can go and exile like most things. And when we return the Consign, the Regent will also grow. And I've seen enough. So honestly, I'm quite fine with how I played this match. I think we didn't take like the most aggressive approach, but we had like a plan and we executed pretty well from turn to turn. Kind of making up for the play against the Oops All Spells opponent.